as the neighborhood lawnmower guy or whatever, right? Your HOA. He's like, hey, I'm not sure if this is for you, but we're actually helping out your neighbor across the street with her yard. Because you could actually work for the HOA. It kind of seems like you're a neighbor or something. You're associated with the
Exactly.
with the group.
To upgrade and be like, hey, I'm not sure if this is for you. I talked to your neighbor, name drop their next door neighbor. And then go and do it as, hey, I'm not sure if this is for you. We're gonna check the same thing for your neighbor here and see if he doesn't qualify, but the baseline is, to cut to the chase, is people are going solar and they're actually spending less money than if they were to stick with the utility company. Now, I'm not sure if this is for you. I'm not sure if this is possible. But what I do know is we're going to have engineers coming out on Tuesday or Wednesday this week. What day works best for you?
We should all be taking notes.
Yeah.
I don't have a phone. Same.
Oh, you just take your phone.
So,
I'll take notes for you guys.
Yeah.
I'll read the notes.
yeah.
Cool.
Sure.
And keep in mind, since you are here to help them and it seems like you're in their best interest, they don't feel any sales pressure because they are going to feel taken care of. You come at the door with, I'm not sure if this is for you, eliminates all the pressure. The conversation can be real, fluid, and not so salesy. People's nerves get down. When people are nervous, they act in ways they normally wouldn't, and sometimes people can get nervous on the doors, not yourself, but the homeowner, right? This is great. So, basically, pressure goes down. You gain trustworthiness. Trust goes up because you wouldn't do it if it wasn't for them, right? And even at the doors, you could be like, to reinforce this, say, hey, if this doesn't financially make sense after the engineers come out, don't do it. If this can't actually save you money, don't do it.
Okay, so then you're a friend then.
Yeah, I'd be like, I want to help you like I helped your neighbor over there, the guy with panels. If I can, awesome. I'd love to help. If not, at least we met, at least we tried, and hopefully we can still be friends, right? So, trustworthiness and pressure.
Do you
How would you
think
use this
though
Yeah.
that makes it tougher for the closer? Because then you're like, when you show up, they could have their guard all the way up. Like, I already know, like, I'm not, like, this guy, like, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Most of the time they do anyway.
oh, they do.
Yeah, and then the other thing is like, put this in the notes so we're on the same page. I walk into the home, I knock on the door, and I'm like, hey, how are you? Just a reminder, I don't know if you remember what Yanji told you, but everything today is very exploratory. I'm just going to give you the apples to apples on what it would be like, assuming you got approved for this, okay? If you like the way it looks and if it actually makes financial sense, we'll have a surveyor come out, look at the property, we'll send all the photos to our team, make sure we're good to go. So I don't care really how you set it up. As long as I can get into the door, we're fine. Obviously don't say some outlandish shit that like I didn't tell you to say. Unless like Taylor McCarthy said to say that he's great.
Or set somebody who
Yeah.
clearly doesn't matter how much money you save, they don't give a shit. They're never gonna go do it just because they don't want to.
And keep in mind, there are some people at the door that just aren't going to be a good fit, man. If someone is super difficult at the door and it takes forever to get the appointment, they probably weren't a good fit. If someone's relatively easygoing, it means that what you said in the front end was exactly what you needed to say. If it doesn't work out, there's a door right there. There's a door right there. There's a couple behind you. There's more than one. You get more than one shot, or hundreds of shots. So let's see. This one would come after this.
We were already doing that today.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the big thing. I'm not gonna say who, but I noticed someone when I was on the doors kind of got in a little argumentative with the customer. Sometimes that happens. Truth be told, I don't know if anyone agrees with this, but no one wins an argument. You could say, oh, you won, and you got what you wanted, but now the other person's upset. Or you could win the argument, and it could make perfect logical sense, but the homeowner would say no because people make emotional-based decisions. If they're upset and their pride is hurt, it doesn't matter how much money they're saving. They don't like you. So this is a great way to handle their objections, handle their no's, control the conversation. The easiest way to control a conversation is to get someone to respond to what you say. Ask questions. Okay, you don't like solar. Okay, what do you know about it? I noticed your neighbor's there. He's like, and they'll say, oh, well, there's huge out-of-pocket costs. I just can't afford it. Okay, there's their objection. Be like, hey, man, we're doing this model home program thing. I don't know if you're going to be a perfect fit for it. Actually, back up. We're doing this model home program thing, and we actually selected your house. We selected your house, and as long as you're okay with after the install, we fly the drone and take a few photos of the house. You'll be good to go. We cover all the upfront costs, and your bill will actually be cheaper than what you pay to Excel. If you can't afford solar, you can't afford your electric bill. Are you able to make your bill payments on time? So it's just, this is a great way to kind of break down, like they have a smoke screen, right? They would, 9 times out of 10, they'll give you their real objection. If you say, hey, what do you know about this? It opens up a conversation rather than a pitch. Keep in mind, guys, the only reason people are saying no, I mean, to wrap it all up, the only reason people say no on the doors is because they're poorly educated, or the way you delivered your spiel wasn't, they didn't understand it properly. Maybe you didn't explain it well enough, whichever. Go ahead.
I have a question for you. Can you explain the model home program?
So here's the deal, guys. We do something called the model home program. To be forward with you, it's not a real program, but the reason we do it is because a lot of people look at solar and they look at the numbers and they're like, this is too good to be true. So what I do is I say, okay, how can I make it so they have to do something extra so they can earn this model home program, so they can earn the zero money down? Baseline is what I say is I say, okay, after your installation, as long as you're okay with us flying the drones over your house, obviously we won't share your address, we'll blur everything. As long as you're okay with being a model for this, there should be no issues and we'll be able to go right ahead with it. Does anyone have any questions on the model home program and how I kind of explain it and go into it with the customer? Yeah.
Are you the only person who's doing it? Like you and Harrison?
As long as you put it in the notes, me and Zach should be able to portray it to the customer just fine.
Okay, so just let you know that we mentioned model home to our customer.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Just be like in the notes, like if you use, like tell me the pitch you use, tell me what you said to the customer. Like if you want it to close, if I know everything you said, I'll have a much higher chance of closing because we're on now, me and you are on the same page, and now the homeowner's expectations are being met with what I'm saying. Because if you guys say one thing and I say a different thing, now what?
I think of it like something I learned down there is basically like we're setters, like we're setting up a lot, like to the closer. So like it's our responsibility to like like kind of warm them up and get them everything, and then we pass whatever we said, we lob it, we set it to you, so it's just like an easy walk-in and just.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's exactly what we're looking for. It's typically always an easy walk-in as long as you guys get them, excited and curious. Though sometimes it cannot be because you didn't tell me what you said on the doors. I'll say, oh, there's no notes on the appointment. Say you mentioned the model home program. I don't bring it up. No. What about that model home program? And I'm like, and it kind of takes me back. It's like, oh shit, that's what I was supposed to set up for, and I didn't. So good notes. And here's what I want from today. All of you, just record 2 pitches on, I'm not sure if this is for you. I just kind of want to see how you guys are structuring them. I don't really require a pitch for this because I don't really expect you to use this too often. If the homeowner steps out of their house or they're in their front yard, you can actually get pretty deep into this stuff. But just a reminder, never argue with a homeowner. You'll never win. If someone says something that you don't agree on, like, oh, there's a huge upfront cost, I can't afford it. Don't be like, no, there's no upfront cost. You say to them, I totally understand, that makes a lot of sense. Now, a lot of people do have to do upfront costs. However, we have this to avoid it. Always agree before you disagree.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Say that one more time, because, dude, there's sometimes I do that.
Yeah.
It'll be like, I'll just get off the pitch and be like, no, there's no upfront cost. And it's like, it's because I've seen other people do it. Sure, it might work sometimes, but it doesn't make them feel good.
It doesn't make them feel like you just said, oh, you're wrong. The second you put down people's pride is the second they stop responding to you. So, like you say to them.
So so they're saying,
They say, there's huge upfront costs, I just can't afford it. Instead of disagreeing and saying, oh, no, there's not. You say, hey, that makes total sense, and a lot of people do have to pay upfront costs. However, we're doing something a little bit different. We're here to cover all the upfront costs with either the model home program or just say the state's doing it, whatever. At this point, it's not like how it used to be, and that's it. So, use this. You'll get a lot of sets with this. I'm not sure if this is for you. Totally gets rid of the pressure, and it's like you're talking to a friend. It's magic, absolute magic. And then the I did skip the "Are you open-minded" thing in the book. I couldn't really relate it to solar. I'm sure there's a great way to go about it, but I don't want to vomit too much on you guys' things. I just want to give you a couple new tools for the tool belt. You'll try them out today. If you love them, you'll keep them. If not, that's okay too. But I think these two are some of the biggest ones to have on the doors. Is there any questions? Does anyone have any questions on? I'm not sure if this is for you. Okay. Does anyone have any questions on what do you know?
no,
Okay. Sounds good. All right.
solid training.
That's it.
I've got all these notes.
I don't care, my bill's good.
Yeah.
How do you take that person, because this book is basically talking about taking that person, create the motivation so big to the point where they want to take a look. So I was thinking this, right? I was saying, okay, totally understand, you don't know much about solar, you don't care. How would you feel, Mr. Customer, if your current bill this year or next year was double or triple what you're paying now? And then let them answer, and I was thinking they'd probably say, I wouldn't like that, obviously, but it's probably not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, Mr. Customer, do you believe inflation is real? You say, if he's smart, yeah, duh. And then next question would be, okay, Mr. Customer, if you believe inflation is real, if there's a way for you to have an inflation-proof electricity bill, would you be against taking a look at it?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about? Because I've done that before. I had a set.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I get the word track, I get lost. I know it's
That
probably.
was a great word track.
Yeah.
I would have been just myself, knowing that I can be that defensive, put myself in that defensive position, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
I would look at that.
And you gave them the opportunity to say no, but also mean yes.
Yeah, but at the end, yeah.
Another big
But
thing.
what I'm saying
Yeah.
is, would that be solid to take someone from like not caring about solar to like, oh, I might as well take a loan?
It depends on your tone. 'Cause
Yeah.
You could almost sound patronizing very easily there.
There was a house in Woodbury where you tried something like that, and that was the guy with the boxing equipment. Yeah. So you gotta be like don't like make it so obvious you're trying to put them on a word track. Like, oh, do you believe in inflation is real? Be like, hey, do you believe in inflation? Like, say it so like nonchalant, like you know.
Or just, hey, you believe in inflation, right?
Yeah.
Where you go?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've done that, and the tone has been like, I'm making them feel stupid.
Yeah, that's the big issue, dude. Like you and then you
Yeah.
have to look at all these people and genuinely be like, hey, these people are not stupid. The last guy that came to explain solar to them, he was stupid. That's why they're uneducated. Not because they're inadequate, but the last person that was in my position was.
Or treated them like they were stupid.
Yeah.
Or the last person treated them like they were stupid.
Yeah.
You
So-
just gotta hit them with hey, you believe in inflation, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. And then just give them a smile.
yeah.
This is,
I'm happy you brought up word tracks. This is a huge thing for everyone. This pitch is going to be hard to say for the first time on a door. While I'm making you guys food today, I want you to write down a pitch with this and then say it over and over again to yourself, not until you get it right, but until you just cannot get it wrong. If you practice it enough, once you say it on the door, you're not even going to think about the customer being right in front of you. You're just going to think about what you're saying, nothing else. Because this shit's gold, man. I walk into appointments. I don't know if this is for you. I don't know. Like, I had a 12 kilowatt I closed yesterday. I'm like, dude, Connexus is half the price of Excel. His bill is way fucking more with solar. But I said, hey, I'm not sure if this is for you. If you guys are worried about Connexus's rates being like Excel's, like for instance, your bill is $210. Your cousin's bill, if he had the same usage as you, would be $450. You're not going to save money right now. I almost promise you won't. But at least you're no longer at the mercy of the power company. We're going to look into this. We're going to keep this exploratory. If you think this makes sense, we'll hit a survey. If not, I'm happy we met and hope we can still be friends. So, anyways, anyone have any more questions on this? Any at all?
Korea's food.
That's that. Let's go. Let's eat. Let's eat.